Johnny Hyde is here.
Well, Johnny Hyde here, Stephen C. on piano. I want to tell people if they
Are we ready to start?
I'm started. We're doing it.
And now,
you have to
from
music.
the mayor's office, above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Rookie on production, Chris Reavers, director of social media, John Hyde in the newsroom, and occasionally Kenny from the Krabby Coffee Shop. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Hey. I want to read you a letter. I want to read you a letter that we got today just so you know what kind of people we are and the company you're in. Dear Joe, I have heard fantastic things about the work you do. Congratulations on your successes with the Garage Logic podcast. We here are thrilled that you are a fan and would welcome you down here anytime. Thanks so much for your little piece on me. It was quite an honor to make your show, and it's signed, and I'm going to give you the full name. Just to show you who we hang out with. As soon as I can find her. Yes, it is right here. Her name is Seville Lord Collins de Montenay Fitzallen de Neenan Lord. She is the director of the Spam Museum. That's true. She is the director of the Spam Museum, and she sent some delightful packages today to the station, not knowing it was our 30th anniversary evening, but just to thank us for the mention she got on the air. Yes.
Full disclosure.
There's none left?
If I hadn't have opened that box up, it would still be sitting there.
Accurate.
Sealed up.
Accurate.
She is very much connected to ancient royalty and what have you, and we have a standing invite to go down and meet her at the Spam Museum.
Let's do it.
Sure, we'll go down and see her. And she had a big wedding. We heard about her reading something in the Palm Beach Post or one of the Palm Beach newspapers, and we were just thrilled to know that she came from such nobility. Apparently has always been affiliated with Spam, and she went to the same school as Jackie Kennedy, the whole deal, Gloria Vanderbilt. And but her name just really, really rings well for the Spam industry. And I asked Kenny, how do you eat this stuff? And he said, you just peel the top off and you grab it in your hand. And you just...
Well, first you have to glop it out of the can, and you kind of squeeze it, and then it hits the counter with a splash, and then you just grab it and eat it like
now,
an
what's
apple.
the portion, the ratio of Velveeta per...
Bite, one bite of Spam, bite of Velveeta, bite of Spam.
Got it.
And then wash it down with tequila.
Many people in the house. Patrick Reusse is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Big John is here. The Lake Detective is here.
And a
Is
special
there
seat.
a chair there?
A special empty seat.
The chair for an empty seat for Anna. We lost Anna. She was a long-time GLer. Many of you probably met her. We also should say hello to the Harley-Davidson golf cart crew. Remember them?
Yes, with the...
Are you here? Where are you, Harley-Davidson crew? Nice to see you.
Got it.
Yeah.
They played that wonderful music on the back of their golf cart during the golf tourney.
That's a 1975 Harley-Davidson, and they were in many golf tournaments with that.
Garage Logic, Dark Sox Open.
Also, where is table...
For two.
Table 234. Over there. Hi, Joe. I'm coming to Monday's show with my dad, John Wilhoit. You know his brother, Rick. He is a Navy vet. I think she means John, and is turning 80 on the 15th. Would you please give him a shout-out? Hi, John.
Wait, I thought we did
Right over there in the blue.
Oh, we do it
You
live.
look like your brother, Mr. Wilhoit. You look like but a lot younger.
He does a lot for the people of our community. He volunteers 3 to 5 days a week and is always the first one to come in when a person is in need. He is my hero. This is from Anna Holicky, and she said they're at table 234, seat 3 and 4. So hello, and thank you for being here on our 30th anniversary. And we also have many fond sponsors here, including Frattallone's. And
Well, we were asked by the sales team to maybe graciously acknowledge all of them. And I think what we should do, Kenny and I decided this earlier, we should just say them all at once, right? Just everyone shout out a couple
Work 'em in.
Frattallone's, EcoFun Motorsports.
Well,
He's going to actually do it.
Oh, and we also should say thank you to Tim. We had a little musical chairs action.
Yeah, Tim, we're sorry about that. That was our fault.
From
Tim
EcoFun?
didn't have a seat, so we had to do some.
I think we
musical
should have a
chairs.
contest and see who has the most sponsors on this sheet.
No.
No, let's not.
Aquaside, Grundhoffers, Josh Arnold, Schoonover, the Canopy Group, Maple, Grove, Lock and Safe, Seafoam, Moon Motorsports, Haferman Water, Escape with Hofferman,
Yep.
Escape with Us Vacations, Minnesota Masonic, Mueller Memorial, Precision Garage Door, Ray N. Welter Heating, Air Mechanical, North American Banking Company, Keller Tax Services, Hire a Pro, Bank on Yourself, Tri-State Bobcat, Aim High Construction, 30 Bales, Harmony Spirits, and Carboni's Pizzeria.
Hey,
Thank you all.
thank you.
all.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. So
I
thank
have
you very
1,
much.
2, 3, 4.
Oh, we're doing this.
5. I have 6 of them, but I'm counting Keller Tax Services as my own. Even though you do it, I'm counting her
Why?
as mine.
That doesn't
Because
count.
I was the first on the staff to use her. She's a neighbor.
That's actually
She's
true.
really close.
actually
Because of Schoonover, Maple Grove Lock and Safe, Seaphone, Moon Motorsports, Keller, Tri-State, and Aim High, I don't have to get a real job, so I want to thank you for that. I appreciate that.
I drove out here on Prince Nelson Rogers Memorial Highway.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you think of the place?
I didn't see,
You got to go another mile or so.
what's this place called? Paisley
Paisley
Park.
Park.
I didn't see it, but
Yep.
the highway starts way down there. You know, I've never been
Isn't
here
it that,
before.
it's that way, right?
It's you keep going west.
The
yes.
CP
no,
says
west is that way, right?
I don't know where we're seated, Kenny. It's not important.
West is that way.
The
Give us a call and let us know.
The CP tells me we have been here before. If we have been, I don't recall, but it's a neat building, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
very
have been
cool.
here before.
You're right, John. West
It's
is
west.
that way.
It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And the
Did
food is
everyone
fantastic.
get their meal? All right.
We need to address the elephant
And
in the room.
you guys were mocking me all day by when I said, I wonder if we get to order from a menu. And you all made the presumption that we would not. But we did. We ordered
did.
from
Well,
a menu.
one of the most popular items on their menu is the Chanhassen chicken.
Which is what I
fabulous.
had.
I had the coconut
Fabulous.
shrimp.
I had a nice.
What do you want to have, food talk?
No, I don't want to
Call
food
me
talk, but
now.
you know, you make that's a pretty big mass feeding. And
It
that
really
was
is.
That was good grub.
Yes.
We have to address something.
All right.
Rookie, please stand up.
Yeah.
We have to talk about
Am I going to
this.
get some
No,
awards?
just stand
this
up.
needs
Stand up,
talking
stand up.
about.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guy here, he wore this shirt to work today, then wore it to the airport, which is what he does. That's fine.
Yep.
And he's wearing, for those of you listening to this via the podcast, he's wearing a collared shirt of what essentially is a globe. The problem is he keeps telling people that in order to find where your flight is going, it's in Braille.
No, I said you can point to wherever you're going, but it has to be above the waist.
What country is on your left nipple?
That's a volcano.
near-
that's a volcano.
That's near Croatia.
Yeah, where I am going to be on a cruise next year.
Really?
Thanks to Escape with Us Vacations.
Yeah.
Maria's
He's
in the
working on
house
a
here.
plug on an insult.
Yes.
Very
And they
good.
just opened a second ship. So let's go, folks. If tonight you had fun with me, this was just having one dinner. If you want to live with me for the next 7
we're
days,
not
next
doing
year.
ads tonight.
Matthew,
Okay.
have a seat. Have a seat.
I was told to stand. Now I
Yeah,
gotta sit.
that's my fault.
I was at the table.
Well,
with-
why? Do you approve?
Yes.
I
Okay.
like it.
Where do you want to go?
I like it.
I want to go here.
I was at the table with Patrick having dinner, and we
Yes.
started reminiscing about how all of this began, and it becomes quite evident that this could not possibly happen again. The way it began and the way it's happened could not possibly happen again because
Thank you.
the industry's changed, people have changed, and we told some tales about how it began, and some of the program directors we work for, and one of whom took us to Canterbury Park and was going to entertain us, and then sat us down and said, "You guys got any money?"
And he was arrested shortly after
I
that.
think he was.
John and I were having a conversation a few minutes ago about how you have made so many program directors and general managers angry because your approach to radio is completely and totally 100% wrong. And it has succeeded in
30
ways.
years.
It makes them mad, Such, because
Yep.
you do everything wrong, and it's absolutely amazing and so much fun.
It's not that we do anything wrong. Pat and I just didn't know better.
But it worked out.
We didn't know what rules you were supposed to follow.
But, however, when you started Garage Logic, you strayed from your normal MO of sports talk.
Right.
You put more effort into it.
He started calling callers by their names instead of caller.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Well,
caller.
it started because it became interesting to wonder what talking to a politician would be like in somebody's garage, where there's lawnmowers and ladders and
I remember the Skip Humphrey interview.
brooms. And he fell on the floor, remember?
Yes.
Couldn't sit. Didn't know how to sit. He fell right on the floor.
It's a bad sign.
That was in a nice garage. That was in North Oaks. But we were in garages all over the metro, and from there, that's it. It's that simple. It's sprung from that. If you want to learn anything, you can figure it out in your own garage, and you don't need the overwhelming size of the government we have today. And, man, is it big. It is big.
Somebody asked earlier, I heard you guys added to the Reusse list today. Would you care to elaborate, Mr. Mayor?
Crickets.
I don't like
No,
I saw that tweet, Patrick.
Yeah.
It's not that he doesn't like them. He just wonders when they're going to shut up.
Yeah. What about the
doesn't
frogs? The frogs in the spring, they also drive me crazy.
But he doesn't. We're not adding crickets to his list of things he doesn't like because he likes crickets.
Okay.
He just wonders when do they take a break. And they don't really at night, do they?
They don't.
Pat, you can wander up here anytime you want, but I got to warn you: turn on a flashlight.
Which crickets involve, although it was not Garage Logic, one of the greatest 30-second promos of all time. When the guy called in and said, a hailstorm with hail the size of cricket balls.
Yeah.
Cricket.
We said, how big could they be?
That was beautiful.
Can't be that big,
Right.
can they? Kenny, how are you?
Pat said, that doesn't impress me.
I would like to call to the stage a special guest,
Yeah.
your wife.
No.
Oh, let's get her on mic.
Come on, Jen.
I'm not going to say a thing. Not going to say a thing.
You know what? On second thought, I need the paycheck, Jen. Just stay there. Just stay there.
Oh, you guys go ahead.
No,
You go
no,
ahead.
No, we're good. We know our limits.
Yeah.
Well, apparently you don't.
Show is over. We did solicit some listener-generated questions.
I'm trying to get through some material.
Right, one of which has
you're
already
trying to
been
do a show.
addressed with
I got some stuff.
with
Okay.
Rookie's shirt. But the other question that we had via the Facebook page was, Kenny had a little bit of a meltdown, and this was evident on the Garage Logic YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to for absolutely free. But Kenny had a tirade because Rookie lacked central air conditioning.
God, nothing makes me more angry. What in the hell is wrong with you? You can't get a trade-out deal at the very least?
I'll work on it.
I didn't have
It's
central air.
2023.
Yeah, but I have water, those baseboards. This thing was built in 1950, whatever.
So,
But it's all brick, so it's cool.
what do you do?
in the
Buy a
summer.
block of ice and put it in front of a fan like it's 1932?
Yeah, just like my grandpa Pete in Winona.
Wow.
He was the Iceman.
Can I tell you something completely different than this?
Go for it, because this was going nowhere.
I saved it just for this evening.
What?
Do you know that we're on the Monarch Highway, the butterflies?
Huh.
Now, get this. The Monarch Highway runs from
Are you talking about the show?
the Texas-Mexico border to northern Minnesota. It just so happens that this is also part of the country where the average wind speed is high enough for wind turbines. The estimated monarch butterfly population decreased 22% from 2021 to 2022. Is it a coincidence that the monarch butterfly migration route coincides with the density of wind turbines and the population of these butterflies has been dropping for years? In his book, Apocalypse Never, Michael Schellenberger talks about the impact of wind turbines on the bird and insect population. Are these machines just whacking the butterfly out of the air? If so, is this another example of windmilling? I wonder if anybody else has made this observation. Michael Sikora in New Richmond, Wisconsin. That is an example of windmilling. Windmilling is where something most often environmental in nature and favored by environmentalists until they begin to realize it's in their backyard. Then they don't want it. That's windmilling. But this is windmilling.
This is just wild speculation, right? This hasn't been proven. This is a conspiracy, John.
Another one?
Yeah. Which makes it fun.
Today's environmental statistic.
You know what we came up with on the show today? We did a regular podcast earlier today, and we came up with the idea that nothing anymore can just be what it is.
Oh, this stemmed from the crazy gal on the plane.
Yeah, y'all see that crazy gal on the airplane who said that she was leaving the plane because somebody in the back wasn't real? Anybody remember that? Well, she's now returned to social media. She got all babed up with professional makeup and this and that and the other thing, and Chris doesn't even think it's her.
It's not her.
But conspiracy theories develop, pointing out that she probably saved lives by delaying the plane. Well, we don't know that.
Right.
Why can't she just be a nutcase who had a meltdown on the airplane?
You get them every once in a while.
Maui conspiracy theories are springing up. They had a wildfire. Why can't it just be they had a wildfire?
But the government's setting the fire in order to reset Maui, so Maui is run by AI. That is a juicy conspiracy.
All the mansions
I
were
am
saved.
so willing to get behind that one. I just love that one.
You do like that one, don't
Oh,
you?
my God,
Yeah.
it's great. And who did you say, somebody rich, his property got burned? Who was that?
Oh, it
Mick
was
Fleetwood.
Mick Fleetwood.
Well, he's not on board, so,
Right.
sorry, man.
He went against the grain.
Yeah.
Well, but Bezos lives on that island, and so does Oprah, and they got real money.
Well,
Yeah, and their
They got
mansions were
Suchi
saved.
money. They got Suchi money.
Those two control the world.
Yeah, but Mick Fleetwood doesn't.
No.
But his little bar and restaurant burned down. And why can't it just be a bad fire? What if they just had some source of water nearby? That's what I always
It would have
wondered.
made it so much easier.
Wouldn't it be easier?
Yeah.
All right.
It's too bad.
I take it no one really gives a bleep about the monarch butterflies being right in our midst and getting wiped out by windmills.
I wanted to check the route, so I was wondering if Rook could come over here, Rook, so
Here's-
I can check the
I
route
got
of the
it.
Yeah. You ready?
butterflies.
Yeah, hang on. I got it right here.
See
It goes
it
right,
right here.
over the belly button.
Yep.
There we
down
go.
the equator.
Right nipple.
Yep.
And through this forest.
And then out the belly button.
Just a minute here. It could be worse. We could take you to San Francisco, charge you $30 to sit on a bus and see the squalor. It's called the Doom Loop.
No thanks.
Is it sold out yet?
I would pay
Is there
that.
a guy with the mic up
Got the
and
mic.
to your left? You see a bag of...
I would love that. I was lucky enough to tour 42nd Street in New York in the 70s. It was debauchery and I was a kid. That left an impression on me that stuck forever. It
we
was
know.
so awesome.
We know.
Nothing but hookers and drugs and just the craziest thing you could ever
Time
see.
out. Boys, just remember, like when you come into the studio, whatever comes out of Uncle Kenny's mouth, we got to do earmuffs.
Don't tell your mom.
Right.
Don't tell your mom.
Say, we're lucky enough to have John Haidt, who's not just a newsman.
Nope. What else?
He's a guitarist. We have John Haidt tonight. Stephen C. Anderson, the official pianist of Garage Logic. Many of you are familiar with Stephen's work. And I don't know when you're going to play, but we'll listen to any time you choose to.
Whenever you want.
Who wants to hear a song by these guys?
Yeah.
Why don't you know what? I think we should do one of Steven's songs, huh? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause we can do those on the podcast.
You can do whatever you want.
Steven wrote this, so I think does. Do you okay this, Steven?
Well, yeah, because he's giving us permission.
This is called Daybreak, right, Steven? All right, we're going to do that then.
Well, John,
if
you got
want
to
us
get fitted with one of your. Which one did you bring?
I brought two.
Two.
I brought two, but I'll probably only use one.
Attaboy.
It's a Strat, okay?
Yeah.
You don't care.
No,
You don't
I do care. I'm
Rook, what
very
kind of guitar do you
interested.
prefer? The Strat?
Ukulele.
Nice.
Whose are these? Yours?
No.
Yes.
All right.
You want to take the Honda for a spin out there?
No.
267,000 miles. Just change the oil.
Well, that'll keep you going.
Yep.
We're having an after party over at my hotel.
Oh, we are.
You going to join me, Suits?
Are you staying out this way?
Yeah. You won't care to join us?
Yeah, I'll be there. That would be a lot of fun. Thank you, boys. Fantastic as always. There's a drum kit upstairs.
Are you going to try?
That's dangerous.
But I don't think I could have played to that song.
The problem with that is it's so far in back we can't see you.
That'd be fine
Maybe
with
that's
me.
just
So
what he needs.
we don't know for sure if
Patrick
it's
is
actually
joining
him.
us, ladies and gentlemen.
There he is. Hey.
I was just having this thought out in the audience as we were going here, and you were celebrating the relationship with the rookie, who picked up that nickname in about the third year, right when he was still as incompetent as when we hired him. Right. And I said, "You're still a rookie," and he should have given me a $20 bill every time we've seen him. He's seen me ever since because he became the rookie. But I was thinking of those moments when I'm driving out and somewhere to go find a column in outstate Minnesota, and I'm listening to Garage Logic, and Joe is talking about this poor bus crash when 80 children drove off a cliff in Colorado, and they burned to a crisp, and now here's Bill. And Rookie puts him on, and he says, "Joe, you want to hear my motorcycle?" I really thought Rookie did a wonderful job.
That was some call screening, wasn't it?
The greatest joke killer in the history of the media. There was nothing serious enough happening in the world that couldn't listen to some guy play his motor in a garage.
Pat, 30 years, I'm still learning.
Those were my favorite moments when they stopped the show.
Well, Pat, one time a guy said, and Rookie screened it, and the guy's on.
Reusse.
And Rookie had typed in, "Wants to start a motor for you." The presumption's going to be it's an antique.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point? And the guy fired it up. I said, "Well, what year is that?" And he said, "It's about 1999. I said, "Well, what the hell? Let me go start my car." There was no need to hear the guy's motor.
Poor Bruce was so happy to start that.
There
for
was
you, though.
nothing you could tell Rookie that wouldn't allow you to get on the air, no matter how boring it might
Well,
have been.
Kenny taught me the screening process a long time ago.
Sports talk, hold on.
Hang on.
Well, he got to work with Yates,
Yeah.
whose theory was, I don't call you at work. Why do you call me at work?
Right.
That was,
But something you and Such didn't realize until we moved into the podcast studio, because you two were in separate studio. We didn't listen to a word you guys were saying. We were having our own deal going.
And when they turn and look, we nod.
Yep, that's
Yeah, we
right.
got him.
You're so right, Joe. Absolutely.
If they were
I'm
laughing,
angry
we
about it
laughed.
too, man.
I,
This world. I mean, really.
That's what
the bus
spawned
story.
Sidekick in a can.
Tell them the bus story. The ad about the buses.
what?
The Southwest Transit.
Yeah. I used to do an ad for a bus company.
He would do an ad for a bus company talking about it. He
Yeah.
says, I don't ride the bus, but if I did,
It would be so,
It would
and
be-
if I ever came to this side of town,
No, but
if I knew where Southwest Twin Cities was, yes, I would.
But there was a horn.
yeah. Well, he would
Yes.
go through the entire ad, do the entire thing, and then just to give him a hard time about it, I started playing a semi-horn.
And I thought it was part of
After
the
about
ad.
3 weeks, I forgot. He's like, "Where's the horn?" I'm like, "It's not part of the ad."
I'd say one thing, though, Joe. You've got much better handling clients than when we were the official sponsor for the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah.
Even though neither of us have ever been to the damn thing and would never consider it.
No.
They had puke and snot on one day.
We told
and
them they
called
weren't
us up.
funny.
We said, "You guys aren't
You're not
funny."
funny.
That was it.
I know funny.
The next week, we were no longer the official sponsor of the Renaissance Festival.
And I think your ad lead was, "We don't go to festivals, but if we did, we would go to the Renaissance Festival."
That is right. But it is amazing what Garage Logic has become as what we considered the spinoff, but now what we were doing became the spinoff. So
Walk us through the when you guys were fired the first time and then brought back.
well, that
Was
was
that
just
part of the
that was
negotiation?
not
Why?
because
I don't remember why we were fired.
we
the
were
first
fired
time.
because they didn't want to pay us the kingly
That's right.
sum of $30 an hour for
right.
3 hours.
Right.
And they fired Marilyn. Was it Marilyn Mason? Was it Marilyn
Yeah,
Mason?
we had her on the air.
The only two shows that anybody listened to on the station, they fired them both. We fired them both because we weren't making any money. That was Bob Oakes.
Yeah.
That was the great Bob Oakes. But when we came back in '83, we got hired by the gentleman Scott Meyer, who started WFAN in Chicago.
Yeah,
about
but
2
we
years
started
later.
Sports Talk.
We started Sports Talk, and then
And he took it
Garage
to New
Logic.
York.
Then Garage
Who
Logic
was the
came along.
guy that wanted to play us? Let me tell that story.
The
That wanted to
replay.
play us on Saturdays.
No, Peter
Probably
May.
Peter.
May.
Yeah.
And so Pat and I are doing Monday Night Sports Talk. And you'd be hard-pressed to know if it had anything to do with sports. And one day this Peter May calls us in after a Monday show, and he said, "Would you guys mind if I gave you each $30 and we replayed Monday Night Sports Talk on Saturday mornings?" And I said, "We don't have to be here." He said, "No, we just want to replay. We'll pay it through." I said, "Let me talk to the guy."
Run this by my partner.
I had to run up by Pat, and we went outside. We rolled around on the ground laughing. And we came back in and said, "Yeah, we'll take that.
And
We'll accept that."
by the way, Peter, you own the rights to it. So you
You
don't have
own the damn show.
But it is funny to come and, come in on Mondays, and we're going to do that little hit afterwards. And Joe's an hour and a half before the podcast. He's in there grinding, doing all this research. And when we did Saturday Sports Talk, they'd be playing Heard It on the Grapevine at 10:03 for the second time, and we'd see Joe's car pull up.
On two wheels.
And then we had no idea who was going to say anything first or what we might talk about.
You two morons were the first people that I actually worked with when I was hired there.
Yes.
And I was blown away by your extensive show prep before the show. which consisted of hanging out in the back parking lot and hitting golf balls into the swamp.
Oh, yes.
And screaming
in
at
the
each
swamp.
other.
We threw some bad books into that swamp, too.
This is a celebration of Garage Logic, but I wanted to point out that the new age of some of radio professionals and trying to do things right, and our guy Johnny D,
Joey D.
Joey D. They stopped having him do Saturday Sports Talk because they thought he was incompetent. I said, that's his talent. That's his talent. That's what makes
That's
him
why we
unique.
love him.
Why would you kill him for that?
Right.
No,
That
your
was
direct quote,
Joey.
Patrick, was, his incompetence is his gift.
Yeah, right. Yes, that's what we can play off of. Don't worry about if he misses a break by 12 minutes. Who cares? So. Anyway.
I mean, Jesse made a living off missing breaks.
I don't want to take a break.
Yes, here's the guy.
I don't know. Why am I here? I remember when the Rook was working the morning show, and then they said, you're going to go on Suchi's show. And I said, they're grooming you. They're grooming you for Suchi. He took quite offense to that.
I know he did.
He did not like that. He thought, and I was just like, I was not like.
Were you like?
I remember when I got the call, I was in Florida on vacation, and you said, hey, will you come to work for me in the afternoons? My predecessor is done. And I hung up the phone, and I went and talked to Mick, and my father-in-law is overhearing this conversation, and he said, you're going to do both. Do you get more money? I said, yeah, I can. Yep, you're going to do both. So that was, I was told what to do, even though I probably would have chose you anyway.
You're completely opposite from me because when he asked me to be on the podcast, I said no. And then his wife called me, and I guess here I am.
But you did start the podcast by
You're welcome
saying,
to come up here, CP. The cat's out of the bag. I mean,
She said she'd come
the
up.
cat's out of the bag.
It's not that hard, Jennifer. I made it.
You got a light on your phone.
Kenny, didn't you
This
say-
is a hell of a turnout, by the way. I'm shocked.
Got great fans
Well, I
of the
don't
greatest
think you need
bands
to be
ever.
shocked.
We
There's nothing
went
to be
to
shocked
so many,
about.
We went to so many places where there was like 37
Right.
people. Remember that time they had us at the place in downtown, and it was
The stage was slanted.
stage was like this.
We kept
'cause it was-
sliding forward.
someplace people were holding on for dear life. They slide. There was only about. Joe said, "I wonder how many people are here." I said, "Let's count them."
Well, I don't want to bring up poor stories of the past, but I think our shining moment was when it was
there's a
Super
fly
Bowl
in
week.
here.
It was Super Bowl week. Here comes the grand event. We're going to take the ESPN affiliate and we're going to put them in a Sprint store in front of 3 people. And Rookie brought frozen food from the dollar store.
Yeah.
No, he brought sardines from the dollar store.
The steak that
fresh
I
out of the Gulf.
Fresh out of the
I was
Gulf.
once hopeful for.
They were not.
It was like the tongue of a shoe.
Yes.
The whole key, if I may get serious for a very short time,
Yeah.
the whole key for Pat and I is having come to radio after having done everything else.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
We had the ability to have an outlook that had never been defined by the confines of a radio format.
Right.
We came in and thought it was wonderful, but we had. Oh my God, she made it!
Here she is.
No one invited you to talk. No one invited.
Do something.
No, what'd you say? Fix my hair, she says. My hair is shot. It can't be fixed.
You want some of this?
There is a message. Fix your hair.
Fix your hair. She was
Yes.
looking out for you.
Pat and I are just reminiscing. You've known Pat a long time.
I have.
Yes.
I have.
Yes.
I've known all these guys a long time.
Yes. You know Johnny, and you've known Steve a long time.
He played at our children's wedding.
Nice.
Yeah, he did. And this guy and I are tied, and politically, Patrick.
Let's get it on the road.
Johnny's kind of neutral.
Here we go.
I was thinking about the time. Remember when I was we were doing Saturday. Joe wasn't there.
Oh, really?
And I did this whole tirade about, when the Democrats got a big deficit, it's a terrible problem, right? And
Don't you start.
Now, no, this is going back 20 years. But now it's not such a terrible problem.
Right.
And we get this caller, like Reusse says, it's Tommy or something. Yeah. And Reusse said, it's Mr. Hubbard. It's Mr. Hubbard. So this fella comes on and makes it. I said, you're making a very good point there, sir. I'm gonna have to reconsider all my thoughts on this.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome, by the way.
Yes, you're welcome.
Call
anytime.
You've seen the light, haven't you?
Call anytime.
Haven't you seen the light?
I don't listen to your show.
Oh, okay. That is seeing the light.
Well,
right?
the best is when we're doing the show and she'll call you.
Oh, yes.
And he'll say, doesn't she know I'm on?
No,
Because I have some true facts, and he gets it all wrong.
But
so
it's-
I don't get it all
it was worse when it was live. She would come. You tell him blah 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 blah. I'm not going to tell him that.
Nothing beats Joe's mother, though, Mary Helen, calling him up and telling him he's going to go to hell because we're making a few jokes about Roman Catholicism as we like to do.
It was worse than hell. She said you're going to get excommunicated. By the way, there's a couple priests here tonight. I've talked to at least one. You know what that means? Off the hook for mass this week.
Right.
Everybody.
That counts.
You say no.
That counts.
That's
and
right.
that one guy, Jindal, you couldn't shut him up. He just talked forever. That counts about a month's worth.
That's right.
Yes. We saw him at the
Father
table.
Nell.
We thought, there he
he's
is right
not
there.
leaving.
You can go now.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I gotta
No,
tell
you
a
gotta
Joe
leave
story.
now.
Well,
do you want a
Do you
Joe
know,
story?
I got to ask you, Joe. You brought up
we do.
that, though.
Yes.
You got to ask this. My father, went to St. Olaf at downtown.
Yeah.
And he died of a heart attack
Right.
outside waiting for my Aunt Peggy to show up.
After making Hassenpfeffer?
But he left, yes, after rabbit stew. That was a part of the thing. But he left before communion. Does that, does that...
He was a backbencher.
His last act was to leave early.
But he was there.
Yeah, he was there.
So that
in
counts.
spirit. So
All right,
I
you're
always
done now.
wondered if he
Oh, no,
made
she's
it.
got a quick story.
She's got a story for us.
You have stories?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
You don't
gotta-
have any stories.
Oh, I do have a lot of
No,
stories.
you don't have any stories.
One of my favorite
Well, you're
stories.
not really going to do a story.
Yes, I
Yes.
am, Joe. Yes, I am. We've been married for quite a few years,
Oh, boy.
and we needed a new stove. And at the time,
Oh, people have heard this story.
But
no
it's
big
coming
deal.
from
what?
the originator.
All right,
Let's
it's
go
coming
here.
from the original taker.
Yes.
So I said, Joe, we're going to go look for a stove. And he said, okay, fine. And so we walk into, do you remember when Marshall Fields had, you could get stoves, refrigerators, and everything. He says,
No, we went to the Dayton's warehouse store.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, that's where we went.
I didn't go there. Maybe you did, but I didn't go there.
You sound like my ex-wife.
Oh, aren't you funny? Just you wait. Oh, fun fact. He's never cooked a meal in his life, in our married life.
Well, we need to hear that
Stick to the story,
next.
please.
Okay, so we're in the store, and of course, the sales lady right away goes to him. What are you looking for, sir? And he says, well, we need a stove. And she says, okay, do you want electric or do you want gas? And he looked at me, and I didn't say anything. I thought, let's go, Joe. And so, and then she says, well, what are you using now? And I thought, oh, this is really going to get him. And so he looked at me, and he says, what do we have now? And I said, we have electric. And she said, oh, isn't that cute? You're newlyweds. And I said, we've been married 13 years.
I didn't know what kind of stove we had. Okay,
Do you know
I'm a
now?
bad guy.
You mentioned
Jennifer.
cooking. You mentioned cooking. Hold on one second, Patrick. We need to hear the pepper steak story.
Yes, that's the one I was going to say. The time they were considering amputating your leg because you were in such pain.
Let me wheel you on in here.
It was a Sunday.
It was a Sunday.
Sunday.
It was getting to be about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was noticing no prep work. Wow. Nothing.
Slight observation.
Well, I made the app.
Yes.
I looked around and I thought, well, this is odd.
Oh, wait a
Usually,
minute. How many kids did we have then?
I don't know.
3.
3.
And where was I?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
And I thought, well, I'm not really going to say anything yet, but this is unusual. There's no
Looking at the watch.
There's no stirring of activity here, and turns out you were laying on the couch, and you had your hand theatrically over your forehead, and you were running a fever, and you were terribly, terribly ill, as I recall. And
how about the stomach flu?
I made a mistake. I admit it. I said, well, what about dinner?
Honest to God.
And I said...
And I just looked at him. I thought, you got to be kidding.
It was a very bad look. And I complicated my mistake by saying, well, what were you going to make? And she said, pepper steak.
Oh, you got no chance.
No, I did have a chance because I continued my mistake. I said, how about I pull a chair?
Next to the stove.
Set it next to the stove.
What an accommodator.
What I was
an
being
accommodator.
sensitive.
Yes.
Wow. And I
Don't
said,
take the kids
all
and
you
leave me
got
alone."
to do is tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Yes.
I thought, thank God I watch Oprah. That's
Right,
sensitivity.
Right, yeah. Right on the mark.
I'm stealing that line from somebody. I don't know who it is. But I thought that was pretty nice of me, to tell you the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Well, to make a long story short, that really didn't work out.
Yeah.
And,
No, I got up and I made a
you
joke. And
made
I threw it at you.
And then I got a little bit on me.
Yeah.
How good was
Just a
that
little
pepper
bit
steak?
on me.
How good was that pepper steak?
It was pretty good. But, okay, one more and then you're gone.
Which one do you want me to tell?
I know there's a lot.
How about by request? Stories by request.
She's already reached sainthood just with the stories we've heard.
Yes.
You sure you want more?
Do you want one?
Sure.
No, I
Of
don't.
course I do.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many.
I think your table mates are looking for you.
I'll leave you alone, John.
All right. Thank you, CP. You need put on your phone flashlight. Well, because there's stairs there.
If I remember correctly, back to Mary Helen calling in.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was one of those times when she directly called in immediately was Saturday morning sports talk. And I think it was McLaren's first communion.
Yes.
And you asked, hey, how did it go? How did it go? I said, well, she had a little trouble, at the time of, go time. She went up to the priest, and the priest, said what he's supposed to say, and she looked up and said, the rook sent me. And, you guys laughed it up, and then she got to, you guys are going to tell Rookie.
There was I can't remember what it was, but that was great. My mother died young, so she never had the opportunity to call me up and tell me I was going to go to hell. So
I think it's time for the boys again. John and Stephen C., because you got to take advantage of talent like this.
Well, while John gets set
when
up,
it's in the room.
Speaking that you guys are here, what day at the state fair, since we're going to be there starting next week, what day are you guys doing the baby walk?
No. What song are you guys going to do? Well, should I go up there?
Okay, Joe, while you're setting
All
up,
right.
you guys get that through. The all-new Garage Logic Town Council members are going to receive the first month
How do you
free
get the flashlight on here?
when you sign up with the promo code 30 at garagelogic.com. That's promo code 30, the number 30. So if you are a new beginner to Garage Logic, you want to start with the Town Council because this is the kind of stuff you get during the show. The, hey, moron, hey, blah, blah, blah. It's very entertaining.
congratulations, Suchi boy. I'm going back to the crowd here, so thank you.
Patrick, James, Stephen, Reusse, ladies and gentlemen.
Contributing things, Pat's a superstar in Garage Logic. Contributing things like I just fell on the stage. Look at the slapstick comedy
I
he
dropped
does.
my headset.
No, he's the guy that calls in after his, what did you take, the gallbladder?
In fact, that was featured last week on the Garage Logic 30 portion of the program. Yep. We featured that. And I had never heard the entirety of that clip, because obviously that preceded my time on GL, until I had to run it in real time. That's the first time I heard the entire clip.
Well, I think because there was an edited version. But when he called in from the hospital.
I'm the only one that paid.
Yes, in Scotland. I mean, and when he did Oatmeal last, remember when he stiffed us after the Masters? So he's provided a lot of fun material that Garage Logicians remember. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Such. Hello.
Okay.
I don't think Joe has a microphone, gentlemen.
Hit the snare drum twice if you can hear us. Yeah, I think we lost Joe.
Maybe he went home. Nope, that's not him.
I actually just think that's him falling down the stairs. You can't hear him at all, can you, Johnny? I think he's missing.
What's the insult we've always had with Grateful Dead? The drummer's like 2 tennis shoes and a dryer. Yeah.
Woke up this morning.
No.
Couldn't find a pillow for my head. Looked over at my girlfriend. She was already dead. To me. Drum solo. I think he fell.
You know the great YouTube clip of Animal and Dave Grohl?
Yes.
This is the opposite of that. There we go.
All right.
He got tired.
Yeah. Boom.
Hey.
Do we clap for that?
I think so. Hey, he got up there, didn't he?
He got up there.
He got
I
up
can't
there
do
and he
I can't do
showcased it.
I can't do it at all.
Now
What'd
what?
you say? I would just started my song, though.
Are we
Oh,
sure
look,
that
this
was
phone.
even him?
No, it was Adam. We didn't practice.
Oh, you know what we need to do? What we promised before the show. I'm an idiot. Hold on.
I won't disagree with that, neither will your wife, but...
Meanwhile, back at the station last week, we were trying to figure out what is this medal that all these GLers have. I know Stacy has one, Big John has one, Anna had one. We want to know who the first recipient of that GL medal was.
Marjorie.
It was Marjorie,
Yes.
That's right. Okay.
And then LD, who's also here, by the way. Where is LD? There he is.
LD, come up and say hi.
Yeah, come on up, LD. Okay, before I forget, though, we promised before the show we got to get this on tape so we can replay it later. We're going to do Hail the Flashlight King. Got it? Okay? Everybody, top of your lungs, because we're going to use this on repeat throughout the course of the next 100,000 shows when we come back for 60 years of GL right here on the stage. All right, you ready? Sure. Hail the Flashlight King. Hail you! Holy crap, that was awesome. LD, everybody. Come on up, LD.
Thank you.
Hi, Stephen.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and thank you for the honor of sitting up here on the stage with the stars.
I got to start with a question. LD?
Yes.
You saw my family.
Yes.
My son says, what does the lake detective do?
Well, I am an aquatic scientist, and I study lakes. So I do aquatic plants, fish, minnows, lake sediments, nutrients, and anything that's related to a lake.
And
I'm on it.
And then my younger son followed it up by saying, does he study fish poop?
Good potty talk. That's good potty talk.
Actually, I do because that it goes into the sediments, and the lake sediments are very important. So, good question.
LD, how's the drought situation affecting our lakes?
Boy, they've been up and down. So we started out wet, lakes were up, and we were back in a drought. So with the lakes being lowered now, better sunlight penetration, and we're getting a lot more weeds. It's a weedy year. If anybody's been around a lake, I would suspect that you're seeing a lot of weeds because of the lower lake levels, more sunlight.
But nothing you find portends the end of the earth as we know it.
Nope, because I boldly predict lakes will come back up.
They always have, haven't they?
I'm just not sure when.
Yeah.
I brought along, I'm not going to read it, but the first letter I wrote to Joe Souchere in the show was in 1996.
Whoa. Really?
Explaining that I had written a book.
Yep.
And it was about lake maintenance projects. And then
it was Baby Blue. It was Baby
Yes, that's
Blue.
right.
I still have it. We
One
still
day,
have it.
One day somebody called in and said, can we drain our swimming pool with all the chlorine into Lake Minnetonka? And Joe said, I don't know. He goes, call this guy. That was me.
Was that your first ever call?
Yes.
And what was the answer?
And what is the answer?
The answer was, go ahead, because that ain't going to hurt anything. There's only a little bit of chlorine, and it's going to be diluted by 1 trillion gallons of water.
That's right.
And then that's when Joe said, hey, here's an environmental guy that says you can do something. He goes, put him in the Rolodex.
Never been stumped, ladies and gentlemen. Never been stumped.
Plug it. Blue Water Science.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. It's been
Blue
fun.
Water Science in St. Paul is the name of it. Blue
Oh, yeah.
Water Science.
And I run a little operation called Blue Water Science when I'm not on the case.
So I have a question for you. Before the show, we were talking about your buddy out at Lake Mead and all the things they've discovered there. I'm wondering if you, when you've been diving, have you ever found a body and then, because you don't want to get involved, you just ignored it and let it be?
Well, that's pretty macabre.
Well, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Fortunately, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right. Good. LD, we expect that you will join us at the State Fair.
I'd be honored again.
And you're doing what you do at the State Fair. You stand up when you speak, and you sit down when you don't speak. And it's very disconcerting, isn't it? There he is. There you're going to stand up.
Sticks to the bit.
Right.
Well, I've had so much coffee, I can thread a sewing machine while it's running.
And he is a former boxing champion, ladies
Yes.
and gentlemen. Thank you for the water.
Thank you. Thank you. We brought up a lake in Chanhassen not that long ago, and you said ask the LD. Remember Lake Ann?
Lake
It came
Ann.
up in conversation not that long ago. That's
I don't remember why it would have come up.
zebra mussels. They
That's-
just showed up in
See,
zebra
that's what it
mussels.
was. And you said ask
There he's
LD.
going to stand
I'm
up
on
now
that-
and talk.
I'm on that case.
You
too.
are on the
Now he's
case.
going to sit down. He's done talking.
More coffee.
Well,
anyway.
LD, when you do find zebra mussels, though, it's over for that lake, right? You can never get rid of them.
No.
There you just
no.
stand up and talk.
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
like a
No,
ventriloquist.
nothing's over. Nothing's over. No.
It ain't over till you say it's over.
So there
That's
is
right.
hope. There is hope.
Zebra mussels, Mother Nature doesn't let things get too out of whack. If something gets a little bit out of whack, boom. There's some things that bring it back under control, and that's usually what happens with zebra mussels. Right now, they came into Lake Minnetonka 2010. There's some really some nice bays out there. The zebra mussels proliferated, went crazy, and now they've taken the algae down to zero, just about, and they're dying back. So
Good.
they will come and go like a lot of things in this world.
LD, I don't mean this to be insensitive, and I hope I'm not stepping on toes here, but you also are a member of the Garage Logic Hall of Fame, aren't you? Don't you have a medal?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we were
I
just
sure
talking
do.
about
Oh, thank God. I thought for a minute he didn't.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we
no.
got, you know who's first?
Marjorie.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Marjorie's
should have
first.
known that.
That's
yeah.
right next to my boxing belts, the world champion
It is.
boxing belts. That's a prominent place.
That's a treasured piece of plastic, isn't
I
it?
appreciate it. It's very notable.
And Marjorie, now 104, she'll join us
Holy cow.
on the first day of the fair. Is that right, Russ?
Yes, but we don't know. I know she's coming out to the fair at
Well,
some
no,
point.
she'll be on the phone for Pete's sake. We don't want to.
Well, she's out there.
Here's,
And that
here's
first-
the deal, though. We were talking about this beforehand. Whenever they put the oldest person alive on the air, either locally, nationally, or in the global sphere, within a week they're dead.
No, we don't want
we don't
to
wanna
do that.
jinx
So
that.
let's
My God.
not make a big
I don't
deal.
want to have her on.
Well, no, let's just not make a big deal about her age. That's all.
You know who's nervous?
Thanks,
the
LD.
Baker's 103.
Right.
LD, always good to see you.
Thank you so much.
And
It's
you
always
are-
been an honor and a pleasure.
He was AM radio and now American podcast only Lake Detective.
That's right.
Steve McComas of Blue Water Science. Thank you very much.
I wish I had the theme, but I don't have the theme.
You know, upstairs I couldn't really hear you guys very well.
Well, we assumed that when we heard the
I
drums.
just
yeah.
had a hard time getting into the.
We loved your solo, though.
Did you
Your
fall
solo
on the
was-
drum set, or were you playing?
I fell on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounded that we were a little nervous.
You know
They're
what
all
the key
different.
to being a drummer is?
Timing.
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 You're the greatest comedian in the whole world. What's the secret of
Timing.
your success?
The Minneapolis, do we want to do this?
Thanks,
do we
Red.
even want to do this? I don't care. Do
It's
you?
awfully serious, Suchi.
Yeah,
that was serious.
I'd rather hear these guys. I would rather hear Stephen C. and Johnny.
Let's
Height.
have them play one tune, and then let's get this crowd mic over here for
I can
Carol
do that.
Burnett style Q&A.
I can do that.
You know what that is?
No, I don't.
You never watched Carol Burnett?
No, didn't watch a lot of the shows that you watched.
Carol Burnett was hilarious. Well, you know, when she starts the show, she goes out in the crowd and they ask,
Was Mr. Tudball on that show?
"You here? Listen, I tell you, Mr. Tudball, Mr. Huygens, can you come in here now?" That was another great bit.
Yeah, that's
Then he's the slow guy.
The slow guy's the best.
Yeah, with the dentist.
Before we play a song, can I tell you that Stephen C's website is stevencmusic.com. Mm-hmm. So go there. There's a lot of good stuff. Also, a lot of good stuff on Spotify, YouTube of Stephen C. So go check that out.
fantastic
Good
stuff.
stuff.
Johnny, while you're setting up, we'd like to thank the Chanhassen Dinner Theater staff, Chris Howland and Joel Rainville. This would not be possible tonight without their help, and they were instrumental in putting this together. So thank you to Chris and to Joel from Chanhassen Dinner Theaters and the entire staff. Anybody in the kitchen, anybody serving, cleaning up after, thank you.
Rook, we do have a question from the audience.
I
We've
can't
got
see you, Reavers.
I'm over here.
Oh, that helps.
Oh, he's front and center.
This is a Garage Logic historian that would like to ask you a question about the history of GL. Go ahead, sir.
Joe,
Yes?
who is your favorite program director of all time?
My favorite program director.
That's some good ones.
Or
What do
salesperson.
they do?
Right.
What is the program
Who
director?
was his favorite HR representative? For $1 million, Joe.
No, what
who
is the
Sue
program
Cook?
director the daily hands-on guy?
Yeah, he's the go-between, the little management guy.
I don't have one.
Big dreams.
I don't have one.
Bad ideas.
Where's Big John? Big John, raise your hand. Oh,
He's
there he is.
back
I knew
there.
you were over
Yeah.
here somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Big John, you're up next.
Well, Joe, we appreciate your.
That's not a question.
He's not done yet.
I'm not done yet. Joe, the funniest bit that I ever heard you do was when you were doing the cold answers of the Hollywood Squares
Yep.
with Paul Lynde.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, it was a hot day. I was in downtown Minneapolis, had to go down and hold up a building, and that's what I did. And you had an answer. You had 26 honks from the answer that you gave.
Yeah.
It was the funniest thing that I'd ever heard on Garage Logic, and I'm wondering if that tape was anywhere.
Yeah, wasn't that the George Goebel? When George Goebel says when Grandpa was putting
Horseradish on his head, what was he trying to do? Get it in his mouth.
right.
Yeah. I might have honked at that one, John.
Wasn't the original longest honk, though, from the Maury Povich?
Yeah.
Big babies that had
Babies
diapers?
with the diapers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the show we had a TV in there, and Rook says in my headphone, "Turn to channel 9." I turned to channel 9. And there was the Maury Povich show had these giant babies, like
100-pound
1-year-olds that
babies.
were like the size of Kenny, and they
were
had
wearing
diapers on, and I just lost it. I just couldn't understand.
Ironically, I too have a diaper on right now. Bought it at Fleet Farm.
Great story.
You got some new stuff today, didn't you?
Everything I have on is brand new.
Real
The time
estate.
to
Is
go
my
to-
oil change done?
The time to go to Fleet Farm, I discovered, 7 a.m. Monday morning.
Okay.
You have the store to yourself.
Question from Pete in the audience. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Joe. So I was introduced to Garage Logic from working in the garage with a friend of mine wrenching on his motorcycle that never ran.
Right.
I want to know, what do you listen to when you're wrenching in the garage?
Oh, that's a great question.
The Weekly Scramble with Reavers and Fratelloni.
I have a very eclectic interest in music, and I would probably be listening to some, I don't know, Tragically Hip or some band that John Haidt doesn't like. I would probably be listening to that.
But you don't really do other podcasts.
I don't normally.
You may, but just not constantly.
Or, if a ball game's on, I'd have that on when I'm wrenching. I really find it disconcerting that I have no idea who I'm talking to and I can't see anybody.
That's part of the intrigue, boss. That's
Yeah.
part of the intrigue. I had somebody else ask me a cylinder question. What was the question? Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Hi, how are you?
Hey, Joe. My dad, Bob, introduced me to you many years ago, and I was absolutely enthralled with the cylinder levels questions.
Cylinder index.
Yes, sir, the index. And so my question is what is the largest index you've ever heard? And if you recall the actual makeup of that.
And what was your first name?
My name's Jeffrey.
I don't recall the largest, but I do know that we've had them in the 500s.
Yeah. I don't have a specific number in mind.
But it doesn't seem fair to the rest of us when you include like people that own salvage yards.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure we've ever done that. But I mean, you talk to some of these world-renowned boat collectors.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine what their CIs are.
76 sticks in my head for just a regular, not a business owner.
76.
No, not a business owner.
That's
That's
nothing. I
That's
have more
nothing.
than that.
No, what I'm saying is that didn't have a van business or a bunch of cylinders sitting in the.
Quiet.
76.
Stop
you could
talking.
damn near get to 76.
Well,
I don't know
That's
about that.
nothing.
Well,
Next question comes
is
to us
piling
from Scott. Go ahead, Scott.
Could I get the time and the temp?
Yep.
hold on, I can help you
Yeah,
out
we're
there.
almost done, and it's about 62 degrees.
It's 8:27. It's 69 degrees in the Twin Cities.
Yeah. Can we go to the band now, Chris, or do you have other people?
Yeah, no, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
But we'll be glad to answer questions for another,
4 minutes.
They want to know how many days you're going to be at the state fair.
Bring that person up here.
Are you going to break the news here and now about next year?
We would. I haven't cleared it with the.
Well,
but Dan's here, isn't he?
He's here. We may as well tell him.
Well,
right now.
we might as well. You might as well hear it here first, huh?
Dan.
This is our last state fair.
This is it, Dan.
Well, I hope to see you out there. What do you think Seaman's taking?
We don't know
what
that.
table is Seaman at?
But I can't see him because it's too dark, but I know that he's shaking his head no.
The thing is, we've said that every year for the last 5 years.
Yeah, but this year I just did it publicly.
Did he chime in?
Yeah.
With our superior in the room.
Where is he?
Here's today's ray of hope.
This is our last state fair.
That's cool. I like that.
Wow. Cat's out of the bag.
This isn't our last state fair. This is going to be our last state fair.
We need to use this as a negotiating tactic.
This year, we're at the fair Thursday, the first Thursday and Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
And
no
we got-
Wednesday of the fair and no Labor Day of the fair.
Plus, the talk shop is full of wonderful, wonderful merchandise. And then this year, I've been very lucky because Hubbard Broadcasting and Garage Logic, we're selling our 30th anniversary map. And my charity that I started in 2008, co-founded with some great people, Second Stork, is going to be the beneficiary of the proceeds. So I want y'all to come out, get a 30th anniversary map. And I'll tell you that the people I work, I'm the worst board member of all time because all I do is publicity. We got people that can stretch $1 a mile, so your money is going to be well spent. No politics, no religion. We just help people without red tape, and they're the poorest people of the poor. So
59, 50.
60. I'm going to bill Second Stork. And I'm writing off this shirt, okay, because you reference it 2 or 3 times.
I think you should.
Here's Johnny Height and Stephen C.
Before that, should we tell them we'll start at noon every day at the fair? So
Yes.
everybody knows.
Yes.
Noon to around 1:30 or
What
2.
about the first day?
Noon every day at the fair.
Bye.
Here's
Even
the
though
band.
it says elsewhere, it says we're starting at 11.
I don't care.
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Store.
Why's your head down?
Because John likes to make my life a living hell.
Yeah!
Neither of them ever took a lesson. Stephen C., where are you going to be lately? Or next? Anything you want to plug? Commodore and the Cathedral. Great nights at the Commodore and Cathedral when Stephen C. is playing. Johnny Height, you'll be probably on GL tomorrow. Yeah, you'll be
And
there.
at the fair. He'll be playing at the fair.
May I tell you that an all-new Garage Logic Town Council members will receive the first month free when you sign up with the promo code 30.
Got it.
At garagelogic.com. That's promo code 30, the number 30. The promo code 30 will also get you 15% off all GL merch at the Garage Logic 30th anniversary garage sale. I didn't know we had one of those. On GarageLogic.com.
My wife is running it.
Is she?
No, I'm just
Do we
kidding.
have an online store?
We got her out there. Yeah.
I've got a bunch of crap.
We do have.
memorabilia I could sell.
Just use the promo code 30 at checkout. And the offer for God's sakes, it just ends this Sunday.
Well, then you better hurry.
Sunday night, 8:20. That's August 20 at midnight. All right? So go to the shop, get some stuff.
Such, I thought we agreed we were going to buy out the town council so we can shut that down.
Yeah? How many here are town council members?
What would it cost us to buy you out? Just shut it down and buy you out. $100 each?
And a reminder that the Chanhassen Dinner Theater through Feb 24 has the Jersey Boys right here.
They were cool. That was really neat.
I wanted them to I love you, baby.
Well, they probably didn't. They probably saved some stuff for the show. See?
I was hoping they'd do some Fleetwood Mac and maybe Billy Joel.
Tickets are at chanhassendt.com.
Got it. That's easy. Mm-hmm. Okay, staff. 30 years of Garage Logic, however long you've been on the show, what was the coolest thing you ever experienced on Garage Logic or your favorite guest of all time?
Well, the best guest is Vince. It's not even close. It was always.
I got it.
It was when he was in. There was an aura about him being in the studio.
Who?
It was cool. Vince. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Every single time he came in, it was awesome.
I'll give him. Well, Vince is right up there, but Sharon Stone
Yeah.
on the stage with Marjorie.
Yeah.
Yep. That'd be
was-
Sharon Jones.
I'm sorry, Sharon.
We knew what you meant.
Gotcha.
It was so surreal.
Yeah.
Sharon Jones of the Dap Kings with Marjorie. That you couldn't make that happen.
And by looking at Sharon's face, you just know she was thinking, am I tripping?
Yeah.
I got to be tripping.
Right.
Who is this lady? What is the deal here?
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Okay.
We had just signed on a new affiliate, and I know I've told this story before, but it shows what a meathead we work with.
Oh, you're going to tell this story?
Yeah. Okay. It was, what's the AM radio station in Mankato? Do you know the frequency? Whatever.
KTOE.
Yeah, KTOE, and I walk in the studio during a break. And I've done this a number of times where he doesn't get the joke. And I say, we just signed on KTOE in Mankato, and the K does not stand for camel. And 2 minutes later, we come out of the break, and he says that word for word, and I still don't think you know what we're talking about.
KTOE.
Yeah, great. The powerhouse. The power in Mankato.
And just to show you the hiring standards at the legendary AM 1500, I didn't get hired at KTOE in Mankato out of school, but did at Hubbard.
Johnny, what do you got?
I got the best thing for me. I started in 2001, and before that, I was doing news at night with Jason Lewis and Tommy Mischke, which was a lot of fun. And then the PD said, "Boy, we really want you to come down here." Amy Alberts preceded me as the news person. Amy wants to spend more time with her family. She's going to resign. And I said, okay. And then I talked to about 5 different people who said, I don't know. That means you got to work with Soucheray then. And I didn't know Joe at all. You know, it's up to even, I don't think he even ever said hi to me. I have no idea.
Weird.
You know what? I'm sure I did.
Yeah, I'm
For
sure
$1 million, who's John Haidt?
Who is John Haidt?
You were looking at your shoes a lot. That's all I remember.
Right.
And as soon as I got in there, and you were perfect because I knew you a little bit, but not a lot. And you said,
Yeah,
don't worry
all
about
right.
it.
I got you.
Yeah,
I'll show you how to work them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's okay. There's nothing wrong with him, really.
Yeah.
I got in there and started working, and everything was fine. It was so I think just the fact, the way I got.
Did he
in there
call you by your real name when you first started?
He and Tommy Mischke are responsible for everybody in the world calling me Johnny. Yeah. He started calling me Johnny right away. Nobody ever did that but my mother.
Because when I started on the show and filling in for Kenny doing traffic, he came in. What the hell's your name? And I said, hi, Joe. My name is Chris Reuvers. Great. And then he'd yell at Rookie about something. And so he throws it to me. Here's Gary Cheevers with traffic. And I was Gary Cheevers for about, 6 months, a year, whatever it was.
At some point, you just don't even correct it.
Yeah.
You just let it go.
He was a Boston Bruins goalie, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
probably why he remembered him.
Matthew?
That water tastes just like a drink of water in Florida.
I think it tastes crystal clear like
No, it's
Hofferman
fine.
water.
I'm not complaining. It tastes like Florida water.
You've got one, Matt?
Mine ultimate was Captain Kangaroo. Getting to meet Captain Kangaroo in studio. Bob Keeshan was the nicest guy, and he was it was one of the coolest interviews. And when Joe said, "What are you the captain of?" he goes, "Nothing." He was just, a childhood hero, and to be right there and just to see that he was cool that was probably one of my favorite guests.
Such, who was your worst guest?
Puking snot.
It gives me a chance to rip Daniel Silva.
Yeah.
The author, Gabriel Alon. Who's read Daniel Silva? Yeah.
Well, they're not family. They're not family. They're just.
No, he was all right, but he's one of those guys that said, if I can ever help you, just give me a call. I know a lot of contacts. The Middle East stuff was raging.
Yep.
I said, great, give me your cell phone. He says, no, you just call my publisher. They'll get a hold of me. I said, see you later.
Yeah.
That wasn't going to happen. I have one more story about Pat. Is Pat still here? Yeah. Remember Pat on Saturday Sports Talk? Rush Limbaugh was just breaking in. And one of the first stations he on in the country was Hubbard. Hubbard Broadcasting had him on
Pioneers.
AM 1500. And his show was a success, and he started doing one of those Rush tours or whatever they were called.
Yes, I have here in my formerly nicotine-stained fingers.
And he came to the Twin Cities, and we were asked, I suppose at that time we were told, to have Rush on as a guest on Saturday Sports Talk to promote his event that night.
Right.
And sure enough, he gets driven out to Maplewood and gets in the studio, and we have him on. And Pat starts it off, and it didn't go well after Pat finished. Pat said, Rush, that's a hell of a bit you got going. And he got very defensive, Pat, remember? He said, that's not a bit.
He took the bait?
Yeah, that's not a bit. That's me. That's what I do now. And Pat said, yeah, it's a hell of a bit you got.
But you guys knew him prior from working with the Royals, right?
Pat might have. I didn't.
I was listening to him before he was on the network. He was out in San Jose, and an employee, Peter Thiel, turned me on to him. We used to listen to cassette tapes of him.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's been fun 30 years. Probably
Thank you,
won't make it
GLers.
another 30.
How about the 45th?
Well,
we'll wheel you in, Joe.
Yeah.
Really. We'll wheel you in.
I'll get you a little cup for the
How about-
drool.
How about 3
A cup for
months?
the drool. What do you think, Joe? Okay.
Raise his arm with some
Yep.
string.
Are we gonna make it to 2024? That's all I need.
Well, hell yes.
Okay.
I mean, wow. Not that long from now.
I hope so.
GLers, all you GLers, it's really special. Not many shows have had a chance to develop the kind of relationship we have with the audience. Wish I could see you now. I can't see anyone. It's a completely dark room. But it is really unique in the annals of radio to have this kind of relationship with all the people who listen to us. And we'll look forward to seeing you at the fair. It will be our last fair ever. Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty good.
And thank you all very much. Really, we really appreciate it. You're an important part of what we do, and we appreciate it. And we'll see you for at least the 35th anniversary.
Hey,
Oh,
that's an announcement.
Yeah, right. I'm kidding.
Right at the state
I'm
fair.
kidding.
At the state fair.
I'm kidding. We can't make it that long. Who knows? Thank you, GLers.
Turn up the house lights. I want to see you guys. Come on, and give yourselves a round of applause.
I don't know where the house lights are. Otherwise,
They didn't
I'd
give
do
Joe
it.
the switch.
Somebody
They got
turn
'em.
them up.
They got 'em.
Thank you very much.
Here they come.
Turn up the house lights.
But I suppose it's a dinner theater. It never gets brighter than this
Because it's dinner time.
because it's dinner with the theater.
So in North Dakota, John, do they have a supper theater?
Supper, yeah, not dinner.
Got it.
Supper
Sorry.
theater.
Yeah.
Thank you, GLers.
Thank you, GLers. Thank you.
Got to get home in time for the news. We're Minnesotans.
I